You know, you've got to have money to make money, so if you don't have it, there's only one way to get it, and that's just to work your ass off, to be honest with you. What you find on the street is a bit of truth, people here are quite real, and they're doing what they do because it's a passion rather than a conglomerate or a corporate idea. One of the reasons we're here is to try and help change the perceptions of Hastings CBD. There's a lot of people coming now from further afield that would never have considered this part of town as somewhere that they'd want to be shopping socially, you know, and that's really cool. That's been a really cool buzz for us. And you know, Hastings is an old town. It's got a lot of history to it, and it's been through some tough times, but it's I think coming out the other side really well. If you're going to live in a community, I think you should contribute to the community. Now, the moment you're running a business, you know, obviously you're trying to look after your family, but if you can do that in a way that provides things for the community that maybe needs that aren't being met, that's a great thing. You know, we're creating spaces that maybe don't get a look in commercially in terms of things like poetry nights or sort of avant-garde alternative music, as well as, you know, great bands that travel around and are very popular. We make a big focus on smaller bands or alternative kind of things. In terms of the cultural fabric of any town, you need that social side of it to be is just as important as the buildings themselves. You can build a building, but you need to fill it with love. People are very, very supportive of local business. I think that, you know, buy local thing is it's often trotted out there, but in a lot of people's lives, they do try where they can. We find a lot of people want to come and try and support us to make us successful. It's that whole use it or lose it thing when it comes to local businesses. It's not, you know, a hoity-toity white-collar area, although those people do frequent it. I think what makes a space special is that it's open to all sort of walks of life. You know, we have blue-collar workers, white-collar workers, artists, poets, politicians, everybody using the space. It's pretty multicultural. I think it's pretty, doesn't really matter what demographic financially you're in. It's a very welcoming part of Hastings. And I never really had an issue with the winds, but a lot of people's perception of this part of town was definitely tainted by that demographic. It's a tricky one, you know, because it can be perceived in all different types of ways. But they've got to be somewhere. You know, what are we going to do? We're just going to keep pushing people further and further out and taking that demographic out of our CBD? Yes, it's changed the street. It has definitely changed the street in a different way. Maybe some of the aggression's gone from the street. That comes with that, but you know, we've also lost a bit of colour from the street as well. So, you know, that's a double-edged sword, that one. Community is about supporting each other within that environment. So, you know, community is the most important thing there probably is. It's the nest around you, isn't it? It's the fabric around you that is either colourful or it's not, and it's up to everybody in a community to add their own bit of thread and their own, you know, colourful piece of wool that they've found to that nest. Without it, what are we? We're all by ourselves, you know. So it's vital. It's vital, and it's vital that we contribute to it. I'm not a philosopher. I'm just a barman. The vibe is an excited one. It's quite a colourful one. Artistically, it's amazing. Increasingly socially, the vibe's picking up. It's contemporary. It's expressing a new sort of idea about what New Zealand is, or what provincial New Zealand is. I think it's taking pride in our own backyards. The ideal world, the vibe has got to be Hawke's Bay, you know, and we have to own that vibe, and we can make something pretty cool and special and vibrant and new.